You're welcome to our Sunday specials. 4 months after the murder of 2 reverend fathers and several others at Mbalom in Gwe East local government area of Benue State, victims and eyewitnesses have recounted their ordeal in the carnage that swept through the sleepy agrarian community. The killings had left Nigerians in doubt of the actual group responsible for the attack. Well, TVC News correspondent Godwin Agwam was in Mbalom and now reports.
Balong community, located in Gwe East local government area of Benue State, is a 2-hour drive from Makurdi, the state capital. Balong assumed national prominence after the killing of 2 Catholic priests, Reverend Father Joseph Gore, Reverend Father Felix Tiolaha, and other parishioners on April the 24th, 2018 by suspected killer herdsmen. TVC News visit to the community, which is now dreaded by all and sundry, reveals that the community had in fact suffered an attack from killer herdsmen militia in 2014. Beatrice Couvé is a victim of the 2014 attack and narrates how she lost her husband in the onslaught.
On that fateful day, the 2014, 25th of that day, I woke up very early in the morning with my husband. He was with lapper on his waist because it was very early. So I do cook. That time I used to cook and sell early morning. So I was about doing my own business. Then my children took my table and everything to the market square. So he followed them to see where they were going. A little time I had some gunshots down here. So I started calling, "Daddy, Daddy, where are you?" I called the other children. Nobody came back. Everybody, I saw people going. Myself, I was just with lapper. Then I just took my handset and my bag where I kept them near me, where I was cooking. So I started running. I went and hid under the tree. Not up to 2 minutes, I saw them passing. They passed that place about, I don't know, but they were up to 30 or more than. The first group was with guns, and all of them was seen that they wear black clothes, all of them. The second group was with cutlasses. They were going, and I heard them speaking Fulani language as they were going. I was there. They went, they were shooting people. I was hearing gunshots.
But according to residents who survived it, the 2014 attack was the tip of an iceberg when compared to what happened in April this year.
On the 24th April 2018, that was on Tuesday, I was present here in the church here. We came for morning mass. You know, I'm the mass servant of this church. I usually serve the mass. So when we came here in the morning for the morning mass, we have 2 priests in our mission here. Very Reverend Father Joseph Gore and Father Felix Tiolaha. And Father Joseph Gore is the priest in charge of this mission. When we was here that day, the 2 priests came in the church. So, you know, there was one barrier. Then Father Joseph God was to go to that barrier, and the other father was to conduct the morning mass. So when we was here, when suddenly we saw some people coming through the classrooms down there, we saw them, some of them were having swords in their hands, and some were having guns. Then when they were coming towards us, we started running the church. And while we was running, they started shooting at us. And then Father Joseph Gore, he wanted to go into his car, and then they shot him. Then he fell down. Then many of us were running. So they were coming towards us, shooting their guns.
They were shouting, "Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar," when they were shouting. When they were shouting, they said, "Allah Akbar." Then started pushing people. Then we took our hit.
The attackers showed no mercy as adults and children were not spared in the massacre.
And I am married to an indigene of Balom. On the 24th of April 2018, which was Tuesday, I woke up early in the morning and was preparing for morning mass when I heard gunshots, and I immediately went out and saw people running and shouting. So I started running. I saw a small girl crying. I held her by the hand and started running with her. Just after my house, I met with the men, and one of them asked me to give him my handset in Hausa language. And I told him I had no phone. He then asked for money, which I also told him I didn't have. Just when he heard I didn't also have money, he removed his sword from the valve, and I couldn't hold the sight of being butchered, so I closed my eye. He hit the back of the sword at my back, and when I opened my eyes, he was already pursuing another set of people who were running. So I held the little girl.
Nsushima Yeta could not hold her emotions as her little daughter was not spared in the attack.
I
was sleeping in my house. Then I heard sounds of gunshots, and people were running. I called my children to come out. I wanted to run, but I still went inside the house to pick up my money, about 22,000, which was inside a trouser. I also heard my small daughter while we ran. We unfortunately ran into some herdsmen, and immediately we saw them. We knelt down, begging them not to harm us. One of them asked for my phone, which I initially hesitated, but seeing that he was going to harm us, I gave him my phone. And again, he asked me to hand over the trouser I was holding, and I gave them, and they left. We started going forward. Then we saw another batch of the herdsmen with swords, and they started beating us that we should give them money. I told them their brothers have already collected all we have, and in anger, one of them removed his sword, held my little daughter I was holding, threw her up, and while she was coming down, the man set the sword slightly over her head, and she was caught. I welcomed her back into my arms with blood.
For families of the deceased parishioners of St. Ignatius Catholic Church, Balom, they will continue to mourn the death of their beloved ones.
On
that fateful Tuesday morning, we were in the church for a normal Tuesday morning mass. And suddenly, herdsmen with guns and swords jumped out of a primary school very close to the church and immediately shot down Reverend Father Joseph Gore, who was outside. And at the sound of the gunshot, the Reverend, who was conducting mass inside the church, said, "These herdsmen have come." So the whole church scattered and everyone ran for their lives. A lot of people were shot right at the church premises, including my husband.
When TVC News went around the community to ascertain the level of damage done to the community, this black cap was lying fallow on the ground. According to sources in the community, it belongs to one of the attackers who chased Reverend Father Felix Tiolaha into the bush where he was finally killed. Mama Hugubin Asema, a 95-year-old woman, narrates how Father Felix was killed while he tried to escape.
They were herdsmen and were speaking in Hausa. So they followed somebody to the front of my house and killed the person. Later, when everywhere was calm, that I came out to discover it was Reverend Father Felix Tiolaha they killed.
Although the parishioners of St. Ignatius Catholic Church, Balom, can no longer worship in their main auditorium due to the defilement of the church by the attackers, but they are not deterred. On the day of our visit, children of the church had their cultural dance.
We have done our own investigation, and there's nothing other than the fact that it was herdsmen who did the attack. And you could see that from even the federal government herself acknowledged this fact by sending the special forces and a new operation, and it took the combined effort of that operation to go on land and on air to flush out the herdsmen, and that is how we'll have some level of peace now. Otherwise, we were not at peace. If you look at the Facebook page of one of the priest who was killed, he said, the herdsmen are all around us and they're armed to the teeth and we have nothing to do. It was so heartbroken that this priest saw this happening, cried, made it public, and he couldn't get any help until he was killed.
For the Benue State government, killer herdsmen are responsible for the killing in Balom and not indigenous of the state.
It was the herdsmen that came and attacked. Because these people, they have arranged militia. As I said, there's one Funam organization, Fulani something organization, that did say they will mobilize militiamen, terrorists from the whole world to come and attack Benue with arms and resources. This they said. And that is why it baffles me up to today. Our security men cannot be proactive to arrest these people. So these people are known, and we are aware that the presidency said they are Libyan mercenaries. Other people say they are so mercenaries everywhere. They say several things to try to justify why they are coming. But our problem has been, why can't they stop these people?
We also visited the final abode of the slain priests and other parishioners at the Holy Pilgrimage Center in Ayati. Catholics in Benue State now see their graveyard as a solution center where they go to seek the face of God in times of need. Godwin Agwam, TVC News, Balom, Benue State.